Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 9 of our Management in Education module. This week, we turn our focus to one of the most vital aspects of effective school leadership, understanding how teams function and how leaders can intentionally build strong, collaborative working environments. Schools depend on teamwork, whether among teachers, support staff, or leadership groups, and the quality of these teams has a powerful influence on school culture and student outcomes. Let's begin our exploration of what makes teams successful and how leadership drives collective performance in education. We examine what a team truly is. A team is more than a group of individuals. It is a group of people who share common objectives and who can work together to accomplish the tasks they are responsible for. As Katzenbach and Smith emphasize, effective teams combine complementary skills and shared commitment to achieve high performance. When we say a team works effectively, we mean that the quality of their work is as high as possible within the time available, and that they use both internal and external resources in a smart and efficient way. In any team, there is constant dynamic interaction between each member and the group as a whole. Individuals adjust their actions, behaviors, and contributions based on the team's evolving needs. This ongoing adaptation helps the team meet the technical and professional demands of the task as it develops. The head of an organization plays a crucial role here. Effective leaders must carefully choose which people to bring together and how to combine their strengths to benefit the entire organization. Finally, building an effective team always involves two complementary elements: selecting the right members and providing appropriate training to develop the team's capacity. Strong teamwork does not happen by accident. It is created through thoughtful leadership and deliberate preparation. Now, let us examine the various roles that individuals play within a team. In industry, there is a common assumption that bringing together the top experts, a top accountant, a top researcher, a top production specialist, and a top salesperson under a strong leader will automatically create the best team. However, as Belbin highlights in his research, this is not always the case. In many situations, individuals who are less exceptional on their own actually work more effectively in a team. When very clever people work together, discussions can become overly analytical. Ideas are criticized too quickly, momentum is lost, and the team struggles to make progress, a phenomenon often referred to as analysis paralysis. Belbin's work identifies several key team roles needed for balanced and productive teamwork. The implementer, a practical organizer who turns ideas into workable plans. They are systematic, efficient, and reliable. The shaper, a dynamic and driven person who pushes the team forward, keeps the group focused, and maintains high energy. The completer, someone who ensures accuracy and thoroughness. They look for errors, pay attention to detail, and help maintain urgency. The coordinator. This person guides the team toward its objectives by using each member's strengths and ensuring clear direction. The team worker. A supportive and cooperative role that strengthens relationships, enhances communication, and maintains team harmony. The resource investigator. This member explores external ideas, opportunities, and contexts, bringing useful information back to the group. The plant, a creative, original thinker who offers innovative solutions and helps the team generate new perspectives. The monitor evaluator, the team's critical thinker, someone who assesses ideas objectively and helps the group make balanced decisions. The specialist, a person with deep, specialized knowledge who contributes expert skills essential to the task. Belbin's model shows that effective teams depend not on having the best individuals, but on a balance of complementary roles that work together towards shared goals. On this slide, we examine the impact of school leadership on student learning outcomes. Research indicates that the influence of a head teacher alone accounts for approximately from 5 to 7% of student learning outcomes, while overall school leadership, including distributed leadership across staff, can account for up to 27% of student outcomes. This demonstrates that leadership, when applied strategically throughout the school, can significantly affect learning. Direct involvement of leaders in curriculum planning and professional development is particularly important. Leaders who actively shape these areas tend to achieve moderate to large effects on school performance and student achievement. As Gunther, 2004, notes, the concept of school leadership has evolved from educational administration to educational management and, more recently, to educational leadership. Leadership today is understood as a dynamic process of influence aimed at achieving desired goals. Successful school leaders develop a clear vision for their institution, rooted in their personal and professional values. They communicate this vision consistently and inspire staff and other stakeholders to align their efforts toward achieving it. In this way, leadership becomes a driving force for school improvement and enhanced learning outcomes. On this slide, we explore 9 typologies of leadership in schools. Understanding these models helps us see how different approaches influence staff, students, and the overall school culture. 1. Instructional leadership. This model is learning-centered. Leaders focus on activities that directly impact student growth, ensuring teaching and learning are at the heart of school improvement. 2. Managerial leadership. Here, the emphasis is on organizational functions. If processes, procedures, and routines are managed competently, the school operates efficiently. 3rd, transformational leadership. Transformational leaders inspire and motivate staff and students to exceed expectations. They act as change agents, create a shared vision, and empower others to work towards it. 4. Moral leadership. This approach highlights the importance of values, fairness, and ethics in decision-making. Leaders focus on the moral and spiritual dimensions of teaching and learning. 5th, authentic leadership. Authentic leaders act with integrity, guided strongly by their personal and professional values. They model ethical behavior and build trust within the school community. 6th, distributed leadership. Leadership is shared across the team rather than concentrated in one individual. This model encourages collaboration and collective responsibility for school success. 7th, teacher leadership. Teachers take active roles in leading development initiatives, knowledge building, and advocating for their professional voice within the school. 8. System leadership. Leaders view schools as interconnected units within wider networks or hierarchical structures. This approach leverages networks to influence outcomes and drive improvement beyond the individual school. 9th, contingent leadership. Effective leaders adapt their approach depending on the context. They respond to the diverse needs of schools and adjust strategies to suit specific situations. Understanding these typologies allows school leaders to select and adapt leadership approaches based on the school's goals, culture, and context. Next, we focus on distributed leadership and its relationship with networked leadership. All types of leaders engage with challenging tasks to collaborate effectively and achieve positive student outcomes. What is distributed leadership? Distributed leadership involves the leadership practices that are collaborative, open, and decentralized. It is designed to align with modern forms of work and new technologies, blending top-down and bottom-up decision-making. Rather than concentrating authority in one individual, distributed leadership spreads responsibility across a team, empowering multiple actors to contribute to school improvement. Networked leadership. One widely used school improvement strategy in recent years is professional networking and collaboration among teachers across different schools and settings. Networking involves extended groups of people with shared interests who interact, exchange knowledge, and provide mutual support to enhance learning outcomes. Key connections. In a knowledge-driven society, the ability to collaborate, use social networks effectively, and connect with others is crucial. Emotional intelligence, social skills, and the capacity to tap into interdependent networks are increasingly important for leaders. A distributed perspective on leadership within networks allows us to understand how networks operate and how collaborative leadership can leverage these connections to improve student outcomes. By combining distributed leadership practices with networking, Leaders can foster stronger collaboration, knowledge sharing, and collective problem solving. Distributed leadership refers to leadership that is shared across multiple individuals, rather than being concentrated in a single leader. It involves distributing leadership tasks and decision-making across different people within an organization or community. In schools, this means collaboration between various stakeholders, teachers, administrators, and support staff to guide educational improvements collectively. Networked leadership, in contrast, focuses on leadership that occurs within and across networks of individuals or organizations. It is typically less hierarchical than traditional structures and emphasizes connections and collaboration across a system or community. Networked leadership is more adaptable than distributed leadership because it relies on informal relationships and collaborative efforts that go beyond formal organizational boundaries. The main distinction is that distributed leadership often assumes a formal structure with shared leadership roles, while networked leadership highlights the informal, connective, and collaborative aspects that link people across a wider system. Understanding this difference helps school leaders apply the most effective approach depending on the goals, context, and networks available. On this slide, we examine the role of leadership in fostering effective networking and collaboration within professional learning networks, drawing on Azarin, Harris, and Jones in 2020. Facilitate connections. Leaders create environments that enable individuals to come together, share expertise, and learn from one another. This includes removing barriers to collaboration, encouraging informal conversations, and using tools that keep participants connected. Encourage trust and openness. Effective leaders build trust within the network, which is essential for meaningful collaboration. By modeling openness, vulnerability, and knowledge sharing, leaders create a safe environment for learning and professional growth. Set the vision. Leaders help align collaborative efforts with a shared vision or broader goals. This ensures that the network remains focused on achieving meaningful educational outcomes. Provide support. Leadership involves supporting both individual members and the collective network through resources, feedback, and guidance. Leaders ensure participants have the tools and guidance needed to be effective. Foster collective responsibility. Leadership is not only top-down in networked environments. Effective leaders encourage members to take collective ownership of outcomes, promoting the sustainability and impact of the network. Professional learning networks operate on the belief and supported by evidence that teachers learn best when they share ideas, plan collaboratively, critique each other's work, and reduce professional isolation. Leadership plays a central role in creating and sustaining these conditions. Let us reflect on personal experiences with collaborative practices and how they align with the research by Azarin, Harris, and Jones. I recall one afternoon after a particularly challenging staff meeting, sitting with my leadership team and discussing professional development needs. I said, "We can't keep doing this the way we've been doing it. There's too much for just one person. We need a shift in how we approach leadership here." My colleague responded, "What if we didn't rely solely on you to lead everything? What if leadership could be shared across the staff and within our networks?" One significant breakthrough occurred during a planning session. Staff began to collaborate across subject areas, and I observed the team creating a shared vision. Leadership was no longer just my responsibility. It became distributed, dynamic, and collective. This experience mirrors the author's argument that effective school leadership in today's complex educational environments must be shared and collective. Collaborative practices empower staff, build professional networks, and enhance both teaching and learning outcomes. Now we consider the complexity and scale of modern school systems. Today, the demands of daily tasks and challenges are so great that a single leader cannot manage everything effectively. A leader-centric school is less efficient than one in which leadership roles are distributed across multiple individuals. Both scholars and practitioners are increasingly rethinking leadership as a collective effort. Leadership is no longer seen solely as the responsibility of one person. It is shared, dynamic, and responsive to the needs of the school community. From the perspective of leading networks, Imperial et al. In 2016 identified 3 interconnected types of leadership that support effective collaboration. 1. Collaborative leadership. Network members share leadership functions at different times depending on needs and expertise. 2. Distributed leadership. Network processes provide local opportunities for members to act proactively for the benefit of the network. 3. Architectural leadership. The structure of the network is intentionally designed to enable and sustain network processes. These approaches highlight that effective leadership today is collective, networked, and designed to empower multiple actors, ensuring schools can meet the complex challenges they face. Now, let us focus on the qualities and practices of effective school leaders. Effective leaders are constantly reading the situation, evaluating the context, and adapting their behavior accordingly. Leadership involves diagnosing problems accurately and selecting the most appropriate response for each situation. Successful leaders increasingly focus on learning, which is the central and unique purpose of educational organizations. They require strong understanding, practical skills, and stress resilience to navigate complex school environments. Understanding leadership theory is essential for 2 main reasons. 1. It provides a framework to interpret and understand leaders' actions. 2. It offers guidance for leadership practice for principals and other school leaders. Research on school effectiveness has identified numerous factors influencing performance. In a major survey, 719 factors were initially identified and later refined into 11 salient factors by McBeath. 1. Professional leadership. 2. Shared vision and goals. 3. A learning environment. 4. Concentration on learning and teaching. 5. High expectations. 6. Positive reinforcement. 7. Monitoring progress. 8. Pupil rights and responsibilities. 9. Purposeful teaching. 10. A learning organization. 11. Homeschool partnership. Personal application. Reflect on your own school organization. Rate it from 1 to 5 scale. 5 equals excellent against these 11 factors. Consider where there is the most scope for improvement and identify your next steps to enhance leadership effectiveness. As we conclude week 9, it is important to reflect on the role of leader teachers. Leadership is second only to classroom teaching in its potential to drive school improvement. Cross-school teams and networks also influence learning and teaching outcomes, highlighting the importance of collaboration beyond individual schools. Different leadership approaches contribute in distinct ways. Managerial leadership operates through the hierarchy to mandate targeted changes, such as improving exam results. Transformational leadership develops a shared vision and fosters commitment to school-wide goals. Contingent leadership emphasizes flexibility while maintaining a strong focus on leadership for learning. Ensuring and enhancing educational quality is a complex, multifaceted task, as graduates must compete successfully in a global market. At the heart of all these activities are the individual learner and lecturer, and what happens in classrooms and programs. Balancing quality as inspection with quality as enhancement and compliance with requirements with effective teaching practices can be challenging. Ultimately, the best leaders are great teachers. Teaching is not an extra responsibility for good managers, it is integral. If you are not teaching, you are not truly leading. Leadership and teaching are inseparable in the pursuit of school improvement and student success. As we conclude week 9, I encourage you to reflect on the key ideas we've discussed about teams, leadership, and collaboration in schools. Effective leadership is not just about managing, it's about teaching, inspiring, and empowering others. Leadership can be distributed, networked, and dynamic, and it has a direct impact on student learning and school improvement. To deepen your understanding, I strongly encourage you to read the references on this slide, including works by Katzenbach and Smith, Belbin, Bush and Glover, Cuthbert et al., and Azarine et al. These readings provide valuable insights into high-performing teams, leadership models, and the role of collaboration in educational settings. Engage with these resources. They will help you apply leadership concepts effectively in your own schools and networks. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you next time.